Hello and welcome to a welcome to a special edition of the Divine Jenny. I almost said .com. By the way, I need a website. People were supposed to be on that like months and months and months ago. That hasn't happened yet, and I don't feel like I should have to do it. I should just check off things. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that message isn't for everybody, but this is like where I'm at right now in this moment. Just like with the boredom aspect, like enough is enough already. So this is a metaphor, and we're gonna get right out of that because I'm growing impatient. Okay, my polite indignation, is that the right word? Is running very. I'm fine. It's just like I'm just like seriously. This is how this all. Nobody wants to take the lead, huh? So I will take the lead. So I'm just gonna show a couple of pictures. 16 years old, very confident. 25, very confident. 18, extremely confident. 20s, that's me right there, very confident. Same, very confident. I have like no pictures in my 30s except on my Facebook. Me and the Pope. This pastor, this bishop loved me because it was in West Roxbury and everybody's Irish there. And I picked Lucia because my grandmother asked me to. And he was like, "Oh, Lucia." And he spoke Italian. I was like so surprised. He was so nice. Very confident and probably bored because my grandfather took a picture for like an hour. Very confident. What am I, 16? Oh, here's my family in Italy. Sit up straight all the time. Oh, here's my family here. Here's a Guido special. Very confident. Oh, Anthony Demore, didn't you say a thing today earlier? Like everybody thinks they're a model, but they're not. This happened to be here. This is in Florida. So yeah, I did professionally model. All right, that's out of the way. People that normally watch my channel are probably like, what's this all about? So I'm not gonna spend too much time. The theme is always love. That's what I'm all about. I'm a very patient person who sometimes isn't patient because I'm human, and I put in a lot of hard work, dedication, and time, and I'm a very powerful woman, so I don't like when I'm not treated as such. So, and I tell everybody, I have got 3 rules. Do not lie to me, do not publicly embarrass me, and do not privately disrespect me or publicly disrespect me. It's a very, very open vocal thing. If people want to challenge that, I really do not care who you think you are. I do not care. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not intimidated by anybody. And I know that really bothers some people, but that's just too fucking bad. And it's never going to change. So now I'm going to get into today's reading in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. You know, here's my advice. If somebody makes a mistake, right, because they're disrespectful or they've got issues that I don't have and they want to deflect to, try to sour me which is an obvious tactic that nobody buys. But, people that couldn't get with me probably love to hear stupid gossip. So people love to bitch. People love to complain. There's a guy, a very popular guy in the North End. He's older, is married and was hitting on me 2 years ago, went out of his way to call me while I was with my boyfriend. The second I broke up with my boyfriend and jumped right into a relationship very fast with another boyfriend, which I don't normally do. That was just kind of ridiculous, but I don't need to explain myself to anybody. It's just the way it went down. He tried to say, "Oh, she cheated on you." No, I don't cheat. I don't need to cheat. I don't need to lie. I don't need to cheat. I don't need to explain myself. I've just always been kind of the same. I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty close to it. If anybody has anything to complain about with me, they absolutely have something to hide. 100%. 110%. So, do I have a mouth? Yeah, I have a mouth. It's my God-given right to honor, protect, and defend myself. And if sometimes I take a back seat, it's because I do see the big picture, and I know that people, human beings, are weak and fragile. And I think men in general are very scared, So I try to know my environment as much as possible. I try not to offend anybody. But you know what? The respect needs to be returned. Period. The respect needs to be returned. So if people don't want to apologize to me for their mistakes, that's fine and dandy. That's fine and dandy. But, there's a balancing thing to the universe. It's not a threat. It's just God's right hand is very powerful. There's no army of men. There's no system of government that can overrule the right hand of God. And that's what I'm all about. So let's get into this reading. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. As it was in the beginning, is now, and forever shall be, world without end. Amen. The Hermit. What's the Hermit? The Hermit is somebody who goes within. They don't seek outside wisdom or knowledge. They go within to seek the answers with God. It's meditative. I do it all the time. It's also the sign of Virgo. I'm a Virgo, and my Venus is in Virgo. So whenever I need to seek answers in love or I need to seek answers in life, I go within first. And then, I used to just be on Google for hours on end. That's what Virgos do. We can get lost reading for hours and hours and hours. We research very well. We make really great lawyers. That's what I should have been. 100% I should have went into law. But I didn't. So Virgos are very analytical. They're also very grounded, and they're healers. So they're not really ego-based. It's a more enlightened approach. So yeah, it's just a very confident sign. People think we can be a little hypercritical, and when we're tired, insecure, because we are particular. We're also the perfectionists of the zodiac. So if we come off as critical, for me, for instance, I'll start shit-talking everybody to somebody I don't trust. If I think someone's a liar, I'll start shit-talking everybody. If they don't react and they keep a stiff upper lip and they don't say boo about anything, I know that they're taking it all in. And I make mental notes in the back of my head. And then in the future, when something comes up, I don't have to keep notes. I tease people. I'm like, oh yeah, judges love logs. I'll say stupid things all the time that I've heard through the grapevine over the years just to see how people react. I'm really, really, really good at that. And I don't really say much. If I do say something to somebody in private, it's a calculated risk. Again, it's a learning process because I learn things on my own because I don't seek outside validation. I don't get in groups of men and barter and banter. This is all self-taught. So this is someone who's very spiritual. They seek enlightenment. They don't want to come in on the wheel of reincarnation. They work for God, and that's it, and for their highest and best self. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is somebody who is emotionally moving away from situations that do not serve them. They stayed in a situation a little bit longer than they probably wanted to for the greater good of all. See how he looks like a monk? This is a very religious deck, okay? It has the pagan aspects in it, and it has the Catholic religious aspects in it. So it's an Italian deck. It's Michelangelo, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty positive. So, this person this monk went in to seek God, to seek wisdom. Once he figured it out, or she figured it out, she's like, all right, enough of this. So they don't tell anybody what they're doing. They don't manipulate. They might fill out the energy and throw a couple things privately to whoever they deal with the most. Just to test the energy. You're not going to dive in head first into a shallow pool. Or just, you got to protect yourself first, and you don't want to assume things in life because at the end of the day, whether you're psychic or not, everybody's a sovereign being. We all have to respect each other, Seven of Pentacles. So so this is funny. We have a 9, 8, 7. So that's an ingression, right? Or a de-escalation. So that's actually good. I think that's good for the energies of today. It's a more calming, grounded, stable energy. It's like, all right, chill out. You chilled out. You assess the situation. Now you're like, okay, I see what I did. I saw what other people did. Now I'm ready to reap a harvest, to reap what needs to be sown in the situation. But this card is usually a good card. You know, there's grapes, there's fruitful things of the earth. It's thriving and growth. Nice. The Judgment card. This is the card of second chances. It's the card of resurrection. It's when people have an opportunity to rise from the dead. So, what does that mean? In business, I would say that if there was a situation where people thought there was a dropping of the ball, let's say, an error, or a hasty move, or something sloppy, or something messy, or some truth that came to light, what they could do is just be like the hermit so this is the card of knowing thyself. You could be honest with yourself first and foremost, and then be confident about who you are. Realize that you're not God. Nobody is. And I haven't met a single person in life who didn't have an off day or didn't, there's something to say about humbleness. The humble doesn't stumble. We can make a mistake, or you can make a mistake, and then you can just correct the mistake. I think when people are too rigid and stubborn and they don't want to cooperate and meet in the middle, there's no room to grow. That's how things become stale and stagnant, outdated, outmoded. And, I really don't do well in that energy. When friends, family, business, I don't care what it is. I know for myself, nothing good is going to come out of that. It doesn't make sense to me on an intellectual level or on a tangible level. It just seems like a system of control. And to me, a system of control is something where people are afraid. So if they're afraid, that means there's a lot of dishonesty, a lot of shady dealings, a lot of taking advantage of people. And, that's just not what I'm about. So here's an opportunity for people. There's a lot of people on that card. There's at least 3 plus the 2 angels are blowing the trumpet. It's like the end of the Bible, right before the book of Revelation. It's when it is in Revelation, when the judgment day comes and Archangel Gabriel comes and blows the trumpet and says, "Wake up, my sleeping dead, wake up and realize that change is needed. You must stand up and arise and face the light and, do what you got to do." So, and fear of the Lord. Fear of the Lord is the first sign of all wisdom. Anything deceitful or stubborn, rigid is of the king of lies, is of the devil. And the king of lies is somebody's own selfish, egoic agenda. It's not for the good of the all. It's very self-servitude. It's self-serving. So I don't mean to lecture, but if I'm the one taking the lead here in a situation, I'm going to lecture. So the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is someone who's feeling inspired, someone who's feeling passionate, and someone who might want to apologize. It's a testimony of love and respect. It's some sort of form of affection. With this combination of cards, it does look like an apology. Nice, Knight of Cups. So this is very loving energy. Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor. He's the one that comes in to save the day. He saves the princess from the tower, or the queen, or the empress. She doesn't really need to be saved, but she actually is doing that knight who's actually beneath her in terms of a hierarchy system, if we're going to be technical, the opportunity to elevate himself. And then in that way, she's actually showing her humbleness, or her meekness rather, and showing, that she too can be humble, even though she is very self-confident, has an inner strength. She knows that, you have to, as a team, if you're truly loyal, you have to be, you don't want to be a martyr. You don't want to be a doormat, even if sometimes you have to appear to be, because that's the way you assess the situation, to give people an opportunity to do the right thing. If they don't do the right thing, and you don't want to see people really fail, and I have this saying, you're only as good as your last show. And people always remember how you made them feel. And I just think that as a woman in authority, on some level, whether people want to realize it or not, it shows it's a very gracious thing to do, to give this knight who probably thought he was an emperor or her boss, and not her equal. He probably thought he was above her and found out, oh wow, boy, did I assess this situation wrong, because as confident as she is, I didn't realize. He didn't realize. So that's why he's coming in to, apologize, and that's very gracious, and that shows that's a sign of being confident to me. Nice. So the Knight of Swords. So this knight really wants to come in and do the right thing, and he wants to do it quickly. And you know what? I would say that's probably a smart idea. I always say timing is everything, and you don't want to rush into things. You don't want to be desperate ever. Like, you control the energy in your body. You control, and it takes practice, and whatever, you have coffee that day, whatever's going on, you're stressed. You got to breathe, and you got to realize you control your own energy. And if you're calm and stable, then the energy in the room is calm and stable. And you can't control other people. So if you have to separate yourself and be alone like this hermit, it's very wise. And then you can come out as a grounded, stable person who can articulate properly and calmly and sweetly, look somebody in the eye like you mean it, have the right body language. Don't be so tense, like, be a man or a woman, and, woman up, man up. And, I'd say in this situation, I would say probably within the next 24 hours at the very most is, this energy should come through. Nice. The Justice card. So in this position, this Justice, thank you, Christ. So this Justice is actually going to benefit the whole. Because everybody is, so it's mostly about this one person is what I'm seeing. This one person doing this right action now, moving forward, in my humble, opinion, would be doing not only themselves justice, but the whole, whatever the situation is, justice. Nice. 3 of Wands. So in this deck, this is, in this position here, in this final position, the 9th position, is actually, you did the right thing, so you have much to feel confident about. It's waiting for your ships to come in. It's usually very golden. We've got the golden grain there. So that's gold that's grounded and stable. So you made an impact. There's growth. And you've used your fiery, passionate wands here through connecting with God as above, so below, like the magician, like the wands. You put 3 magic wands in the ground. You've made that soil fertile. Because, fire is a very holy energy, and God, not too many people can work with fire properly. There's actually a form of magic. It's divine white magic. I actually am pretty good at it. I'm not going to get into the whole explanation right now. This is my life. So I've been studying this stuff for years. But mystics usually have that power, and they can control the inner fire and the outer fire with their energy vortex field. Like a lot of Buddhists, I know some Buddhists that can do it, and they won't tell you because it's very much in their, in their religion, it's their nature, and the politics to be very, easternly and humble. It's a nice approach. But us Westerners, it's a little bit more of a dynamic approach, I guess you could say. So with the 3 of Wands, the number 3 is very dynamic. I'm telling you, looks great. This is like all the right moves. Okay, so, it's just about you got to be you. Like, people can see through bullshit. People can see through shifty. And if you were like that prior, it's fine. It was a learning lesson. We all are on our own path. We're all doing our own thing at our own time. It's not anybody to decide. It's up to God. Even if you work for a system or order or company or whatever, and they have a certain way of doing things, you're still not their slave. And you still have your own autonomy. And, sometimes you gotta be a boss in situations, that's for you to decide. Let's see. I'm just going to take right from the top because I'm guided to do so. Nice. So this is going to bring in a good, fruitful beginning. This is the Ace of Cups. This is brand new beginnings in love. And I'm sensing that this is about business. Nice. King of Cups. So, yeah, I was right. So this is actually about a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio male, somebody who was born male at birth, is in control. It needs to take the lead. Needs to grab the ball in a very calm, holy fashion. Be humble, speak to God, ask for his guidance, ask him to guide your every thought, word, action, feeling, and emotion to his will. Say, thine will be done, dear Lord, thine will be done, dear Lord. Confess your sins secretly, to Jesus Christ, and have the Father take them, and, you're cleared of your sin. If you don't do that and you make a mess of things, things won't be cleared up as quick. But God is the Father, and he is in control of everything. And trust me when I tell you, he is absolutely in control of everything, whether you want to believe it or not. And when you do that, Christ says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And you just need faith the size of a mustard seed. And that's where your confidence comes from. That's where my confidence has come from my whole life. My mother, when I was, getting ready for my first communion, she made it a point to really read the Bible with me every night. And I went to CCD until I made my confirmation. I went to school 7 days a week. I went to Italian school on Saturdays, and I went to CCD on Sundays. And that was my whole life until I graduated high school. And so I'm a very disciplined person. I also feel energy, and I go with the flow at the same time. I don't let anybody control me. If I do something that seems like I'm being controlled, it's because I'm learning something and I'm not really sure what's going on. And I feel like, life is a school. And because I'm an independent person, I'm an independent learner. And it's just, I don't know, it's not for everybody, but it's for me. So if you're someone who's not used to doing that and you're used to taking direction, I would take my advice in this situation, and I would just, be your charming, loving self and go within, ask God, seek God's forgiveness, seek his mercy and wisdom, and then, move away from that situation with class, wherever you feel like you were. So this clearly shows someone that was in an environment that didn't serve them. So you're actually, I don't want to offend anybody, but whoever this is was in an environment that actually didn't do him any justice. It actually put him in situations that were toxic. That's what this Eight of Cups always means. And so now you're deciding to move away from it. You're ready to reap what you've sown. You realize you have a second coming, a second chance to make things right. You're going to do so by apologizing to whoever you need to apologize to. Probably to whoever, made the, this whole whatever situation come to get catalyzed, or you know what I mean? And anybody who else you deceived, and be sincere about it and decide that moving forward, you're not going to do that again, because apologies mean shit to people that are serious. If you're not going to take it serious, you're not a kid. So you're an adult, I'm assuming. And that's the way to do things in business and in life. If you're, if you want to be taken seriously, if you want to be a boss, you want to be a king. So, yeah. So that brings everybody a brand new beginning, especially you. And that's why you want to really make sure you get it done within the next 24 hours. That's going to bring you justice, the situation justice. It's going to be with fairness and justice for all. And everybody's going to feel really enthusiastic and happy with the outcome. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands. Yeah, you're going to be very respected if this is the approach you take. It comes after the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is public fame and notoriety, victory. The Seven of Wands is maintaining that. So you're already in a good position. You're still in a good position with whoever you care to be in a good position with, overall. But this needs to be considered and approached authentically. And that's all I have to say. I hope you found this message well. This is the Divine Jenny Tarot. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and hitting that bell for notifications. If you're feeling so generous to donate to my channel, I would really appreciate it. These cards aren't cheap. You got to replace them. Candles, just, new energy is always good. I like to keep things new. And, yeah, that's if you would like to donate, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to have my PayPal in the description below. For everybody that has donated, that has a few of you have donated, I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much again. And I do a financial blessing ritual at the full moon every single month. Okay, and it's very sort of Catholic. It's a Catholic blessing. I do the Bible prayers. I do my own thing. Maybe one day I'll show you guys, but I think it's just too good that I don't want to. If you guys request for me to do so, I'll do it. But at this point, I think you guys should trust and know my integrity. And that's that. I hope you all found this message well. This is Divine Jenny Tarot saying, I God and Goddess bless you, and Godspeed, and I thank you so much.